Okay.
So one of the big questions we get a lot of times in dealing with Brahman cattle, and the people especially that are new to Brahman cattle, are what to do with lazy or dummy calves when they're born that are lethargic and don't want to be, don't have trouble getting up. They just don't have the energy. When you do stand them up, they have trouble trying to nurse and things like that. This is a traditional problem that we've worked to overcome here and with our program that the Brahman breed faces. And so over the years, many Brahman breeders, some Brahman breeders get really good at it. Here at BRC, we think we should work to improve that, get over that. This is not an issue that we deal with on a regular basis because we've done such an outstanding job keeping up with the records on all the calves that are born, their calf vigor scores, the birth weights, teat and udder scores. And so this is something that we don't generally face. Today we happen to run into one. The cow that we're dealing with is a cow that we brought in for some outside genetics, so she's not our genetics. And then the calf that is sired by an outside bull as well. So, you know, this is a problem that can be genetic. So if you're keeping track of all of these calves that are born, and their calf vigor, how fast they get up and nurse, if they're lethargic or not, you can work to make your mating decisions on and work to eliminate this problem. And so over the last 10 years since we've been in operation, we've really strived to work to where we don't have to have this problem anymore, and our calves are they're born vigorous, they get up and nurse quickly. We have cows with good udders, and so a lot of this is all heritable and can be alleviated if you're keeping up with your records, not putting these cattle back into the herd that do have these issues. And so by being able to track this and writing this down and looking back on it, when you get ready to say you've got a group of bull calves, and say you go through there and you go back and look at their nurse codes, their birth weights, their mother's udders and teats, you can select away from those bulls that might have given you a problem, and then over time you can completely eliminate it from your herd, which we've done an extremely successful job of here within our group. But I'm actually glad we had this happen, because I get so many calls and questions on, hey, I'm new to the Brahman breed, my first Brahman cow had her calf, it's a calf, it's cold, it's laying down, and I can't get it to nurse, what do I do? This is something I can help. This is going to be a learning process today, trying to help these new breeders get around this problem, where they can then start making those mating decisions later on down the road. So this is a bull calf that was born this morning. It was very cool, was born in a real damp, cool weather, and so so that's working against him as well, being a Brahman and designed for more heat tolerant or humid areas with hotter climates. So when it's cool, when it's wet especially, it can affect the vigor of these Brahman calves as well as genetics. So what we're going to do, you look at this calf laying on the ground, this is where these lazy calves that are born, this is typically how you're going to find them. They're going to be laid out, very lethargic. You know, when we brought him in, he's active and wanting to move, but he kind of soils up and doesn't want to. So what we're going to do, we've got his mother in the chute. She's a pretty calm cow. We've got a nursing gate on our chute here. I'm going to try to walk you through how we're going to get this calf from here to try to get him to nurse, because it's important that he gets colostrum in a very early amount of time. And so we're going to put her in the chute. We're going to tighten her up just a little bit. Hopefully she doesn't kick. Squeeze her in just a little bit. Got her piped in. Now always check before you get down here with the calf and make sure she doesn't kick. Some cows are sensitive about their udder and want to kick at you and things like that, and we can check that beforehand by coming down here. So if she happens to want to kick a lot, we've got some ropes handy where I can hobble her leg back to here, and we can fight that problem where we don't have to worry about getting kicked or ourselves getting hurt or the calf getting hurt. But I think we're probably going to be okay right here. So getting the calf up, this can be an issue, especially on these lazy calves. Best way to do it, never by their ears. If they're already lazy and want to sull up, if you do them by their ears on these Brahman calves, they'll just sull even more. They'll get mad and just sull up, say, I'm done. So best way to do it on a Brahman calf is to pick them up by their tail, help them find their feet. See, he's really lazy, really, really lazy. You can kind of get him up there, get under him a little bit. See, he has no vigor. No vigor. You always, if you're carry him cradling like this. I've got my handy little milking stool. I think Rachel might have got that for me for a birthday present. It's wonderful. But we've got him here. Place him over our knee. Always wanting to be gentle and easy with the calf because you don't want to make him mad. So, get him here. Catch my breath a little bit. Getting fat and old. Trying to be easy with everybody. Thing to do is, a cow's udder, when she first comes to her milk before the calf ever sucks, has little seals on the end of her teats. Whatever milk teat you're gonna use to nurse this calf, that's the one you break the seal on. Until that quarter's nursed out, don't break the seal on any others, because that's how she helps fight bacteria and infection from getting up there and causing mastitis. Only open the ones you need, and then you work from there, and that way you don't have to worry about mastitis. So we're going to get this calf. We've got the teat right here. It's larger than what we'd expect. You know, this is another issue that what we're trying to get out of our program as well, is larger teats. So they're kind of long. When I udder score this cow, I'd probably give her, for her udder attachment, I'd probably give her a 2. When I'm giving her a teat score, probably a 3 to a 4. Keep up with that. Calf would definitely give a vigor score of 3, which is a weak or a dummy calf. 1 would be extremely vigorous, fast. 2 would be fairly normal, average. 3 is a weak dummy calf like this one would be. So he's got 2 things fighting against him. Cow with a little bit bigger teats, calf that's a little lazy. But what we're going to do is, first of all, he's kind of wanting to sniff a little bit, but I'll get this one teat, kind of break the seal on it, and I'll squirt it on his nose. See, kind of perked him up a little bit. Let him set just a little bit, get used to it, instead of just trying to force him into him right off. Get a little milk, squirt it right there on his nose so he can smell it. All good. Get over here handy. Then what I'll do, I'll take this hand, put it in his mouth, 2 fingers in his top mouth, and kind of pry his mouth open. Get his head down here, get his mouth open with 2 fingers, and then squirt a little in his mouth. He can taste it. You can see he's kind of licking it. But hey, that might be something I like. Now he's kind of wanting to smell the cow a little bit. You can come back down here. Oh, that worked out perfectly. He's really trying to go at it now. A lot of times these dummy calves, if you can be easy with them from the beginning and really outthink them and not make them mad, you can fix this problem pretty quick where they get them nursing. So the issue would be, you make them mad quick, they don't even want to suck at all. They don't have the suck reflex. They just completely give up. But gentle and easy really pays off and really helps. So I'll keep him on this teat until he finishes it off. Let him completely clean it out. Once he does that, then I'll move him to another teat. So especially since he was just born this morning, I'll let him, if I'm gonna have to do this repeatedly over the next day or so, till he can gain some strength, which just since he's grabbed that milk, you can see he's already standing on his own. He's jumping up. Just that shot of milk said, hey, things are back right. So, but what I'll do, if I'm having to keep him up and nurse him, the first day, I'll let him get his fill his belly up, let him get all the colostrum he possibly can. The second day, depending on how strong he is, I might do the same thing. If he's not nursing on his own the third day, skip a feeding. Let him get hungry, and or don't fill him up. If you do get him, don't fill him up. Only let him have where he's still got the want and the drive after you turn him out to try on his own. And then if the following day, if he's not wanting to do it, let him skip a feeding. And then I almost guarantee he'll be nursing on his own by the next time you have to do it. And but like I said, this is something we really hate to deal with. As a breed, we should work against having to deal with this. Breed it out of our breeding programs. so our producers and commercial producers don't have the issues like this. Because if the ultimate goal is producing beef and selling bulls and females to the commercial cattlemen that are going to go into real ranching situations where they're not going to be able to be hands-on like this. And if those cattle don't work, they don't make it, and then you've lost a customer not only once but possibly for life, where they're going to look for other alternatives. And the Brahman breed has so much to offer. If we can get these little problems out of our herds and out of our genetics, this is something we can just always continue to improve our breed on. So I encourage each and every person, ask somebody that knows. If you're getting into Brahman cattle for the first time, ask somebody who knows. Research the genetics. Here at our ranch, if you want to know the genetics and how well these calves nurse, let us know. We'll ask us. We'll be glad to share all the information that we have, because we are going to have the records of it. And I would encourage you to, whoever you buy your cattle from or your genetics from, ask them. It's not it's not wrong to ask people, because you want to set yourself up for success. And if they're a responsible seed stock breeder who's going to supply you with your genetics, they're going to want you to be as successful as possible too. And but if you run into these issues and still have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me or Rachel or Keaton or Frank, and we'd be glad to help you any way we can. Call us, text us, email us, and we want you to set yourself up for success and be successful in the Brahman breed. Like I said, I hate doing this. We've pretty well worked it out of our herd. It just so happens that this is kind of some outside genetics that we didn't have a lot of previous knowledge of. So, but we're building knowledge. We're building our database, so we kind of know what's going on now here as we go forward. But like I said, if you have any questions, the BRC team is here to help you. Email us, call us, text us. We want to help you any way we can. And but yeah, you see right now he's getting more and more stronger as we go. He's starting to get full, stand up. He'll be good to go.